Why did you become a recording artist?
Shit, I was in the hole. I ain't had nothing else to do. I was hungry.
How did you get into the rap game? How did you get into rap music?
I mean, a couple of my niggas, they rap. So I already was like listening and shit, but as far as me rapping, shit, I started rapping in jail.
How long were you in jail for?
6 years.
6 years. During that 6 years, when did rapping start? If you could pinpoint in that 6 years, was it first year or two, in the middle, maybe
Like
towards the end?
fifth year. Fifth year. Shit like that. Well, really like the fourth year because I was supposed to get out in 4 years. So really the fourth year when I was about to get out.
And when you were in jail, you were writing, you were freestyling and just
Right.
writing. When you got out, did you end up using those lyrics?
Hell yeah, I used a few of them.
You did.
Yeah.
Back then when you were in jail and you were creating this music, did you have beats back then?
No.
No beats. So then when you go and create this music outside of jail, is it a producer cooking up beats for you based on what lyrics you had and how you were spitting it or how you envisioned it?
Mm-hmm. Helluva. Shout out to Helluva, man.
I see. And just curious, what age do you think that was when you started?
About 20.
20 years old. Who taught you? How did you learn
Who taught me what?
rapping?
Shit, ain't nobody teach me. I taught myself.
Trial and error? Experimentation?
Yeah. Just fucking around.
Something you wanted to do or somebody pushed you to do?
No, I want none of that. It was just something to do.
Any musical influences back then?
No. Not back then. Shit, I was just bored. Shit. I want nobody that like, oh, I want to be like him when I grow up. I want none of that.
Now at this point, how many years would you say you've been perfecting your craft before you did this deal with CMG 4PF?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
In that time, right, a year and a half, 2 years, did you ever feel like quitting?
Hell yeah, I quit whenever I want to quit.
What kept you coming back?
Shit. I liked the music I was making.
How serious were the quittings? Was it just you put it down for a second, take some time off?
No, I just
Or was there
I'm
like
about
a
to
serious thought?
Release all my music and just let y'all hear it. That's what I was getting at.
I see. Self-motivated or a support system that kept you going?
Both.
Anyone ever told you, though, you should quit? Maybe this stuff isn't for you.
No, not since I started.
Now, when you're in the recording studio, top 3 things you need in the studio. Top 3 necessities for you.
I don't need shit but some beats. Really, I don't need nothing.
Very simple. When it comes to beats and you working with producers, how do you find them or do they reach out to you?
As far as producers, a lot of them reached out to me. Now, Twin took me a Helluva song.
When it comes to the studio, craziest studio story, if you have one.
Crazy studio story. Probably when Gotti flew in from Dubai.
Explain.
He flew in from Dubai. Shit, I was in Atlanta, matter of fact. And he like, I'll meet you in Detroit. I flew to Detroit. I got in the studio and shit, I'm playing my music. He walk in and shit, he like, play some of your music. I get to playing some of my music for him and shit. And that's how we really got cool.
That was your first time meeting him?
No, that wasn't my first time meeting him, but that was my first time him hearing my music. Through me, well, I'll say it like that.
Now, I read one time on TMZ that Kanye West, he recorded in Wyoming on a mountaintop, right?
Yeah.
He either recorded or he got creative vibes, which is very unique. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
For you, at this point, what's the most unique location when it comes to recording or getting those studio vibes? Or those creative vibes, I should say, sorry.
The hole in jail. That's the uniquest it's ever gonna get for anybody. I'm letting you know that now.
At this point, what's your recording process like? Are you still continuing to write? Do you freestyle and punch in?
I don't write. I should go back to it though. But I don't be like having the time.
When it came to freestyling and punching in, how did you get like that? Was it influence or just natural experimentation with it?
Really, I got it from Peezy. He like, when I used to write my shit, he like, no, you gotta punch that shit in. I used to be like, hell no, nigga. But I like got used to it real quick. And that's how I do it now.
When it comes to your lyrics, how honest are your lyrics?
Oh, they honest. For the most part.
When you say for the most part, define that.
Depending on who I'm talking to, shit. They honest to my niggas. They might not be honest to you, you know what I'm saying?
These days, do you record inside the mic booth or outside of it?
Inside.
Sitting down, standing up?
Stand up.
From start to finish, what's the average time it takes you to create a song?
Depending on what bag I'm in. If I'm in my bag, probably like 25 minutes, 30 minutes. If I ain't in my bag, probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. If that, really.
Now, what happens when you get this? And I use this phrase very loosely because I know you don't write anymore, right?
Yeah.
But that term, writer's block, when you're stuck on an idea, stuck on a thought, how do you deal with that?
I leave.
What's the longest you worked on a song, stopped, and ended up finishing it at another point in time?
About like 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah, I'm gonna go longer than that though, cause I got some songs that are right now that has been past that. But Mama, I'm Sorry, I wrote that in the whole. I finished that bitch like 6 months later.
Solitary confinement?
Matter of fact, I ain't finished that bitch till I got out of jail, so really like 2 years. Yeah, I ain't finished it till I got to the studio.
When it comes to creating music, it comes to creating songs, have you ever gotten emotional creating a song?
Hell yeah. Mama, I'm Sorry.
To the point where you shed a tear?
Yeah. And She Loved Me.
When you created those two songs, did it ever become a point where it was too much to finish?
Hell no, I gotta finish. I mean, I was crying when I listened to She Loved Me, not when I made it.
Okay.
But when I listened to it, I was crying because I had just lost my homeboy. So it was fucking me up.
For somebody that hasn't heard either song, what are those two songs about?
Mama, I'm sorry about my mama. I disappointed her when I ain't come home on time. And She Loved Me really about my uncle, my homeboys. It sound like it's about a hoe, but it's really about my homeboy.
they passed away, or they're still living?
Yeah, they passed away.
Now, how soon do you make this song after they pass away? If you can remember.
What I made She Love Me. I made She Love Me like 4 months.
Thinking back, hindsight 2020, was that too soon to create a song like that? Too late to create a song like that?
No, really, it just gotta come to me. I'll make that bitch an hour later if it comes to me.
How did other family members react to that song when they heard it?
They fucked with it. They fucked with it.
Did you ever make a music video for either one?
Yeah, I made one for My Mom Sorry.
You did. Now, when it comes to beats, we talked about beats earlier, but I want to bring that subject back. When it comes to beats, do you like when a producer creates a beat from you for scratch, or are you the type that rather just go through a folder of beats and...
Shit, depending on what I got. Like if I already got some old shit, like some shit from jail, you gotta make it from scratch. But if I'm just freestyling, I'm like, let me hear something.
When it comes to beats, have you ever passed on a beat
Hell yeah.
that became a song, a bigger song maybe for somebody else?
No, I ain't did that yet.
All right, I want to ask you this. Risk versus reward. What's the biggest risk you took for your music career so far?
Biggest risk I took?
Yeah. At this point, thinking back, all the time you spent on music, what's the biggest risk you took for your music career at this point?
Stop hustling.
How easy or hard was that for you to do?
It was just half and half. Cause it don't last forever.
Is that something you do cold turkey? Immediately you just stop? Or is it something that just dissipates over time?
Hell no, that ain't something you do immediately. That's something you feel like the other money take over. That's when others just stop. Or you feel like it's okay to stop.
Proudest accomplishment so far in your music career? At this point?
Well, my proudest accomplishment for me, was getting 1 million views on the song. But now I got a lot of millions, so it's like...
It's levels.
Yeah.
It's levels. On the opposite end of the spectrum, biggest failure so far in your music career? Biggest flop?
My Mom Sorry. I feel like that's the hardest shit one of the hardest songs I ever made. I mean, it ain't no flop, because it was like my first song I ever made by myself. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna get there.
What could you have done different?
Shit. Really? We'll probably put it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Attached it to a lot of different platforms. I just put it out.
I see. Now, what's the biggest misconception of you at this point? What's one thing people think about you, but it's not true?
Shit, I don't know. I don't even get off into that. I don't know what motherfuckers think of me.
Craziest rumor you heard about yourself?
I got signed for $5 million. That was funny. That's about the craziest.
Did you ever clear that rumor up or no? Did you ever address that or?
Shit, it's addressing itself. You would have knew if I got signed for $5 million. You know.
Is there a question people ask you hate to answer, something you just can't stand? Seems to be like the same.
How tall am I? No, I don't really like to answer that too much.
But for the record, how tall are you?
I don't know, depending on what kind of day I'm having. I was fried 2 today. You know, tomorrow I might be fried 3.
Do you care what people think of you?
No.
Are you honest when you say that?
Yeah, I'm on.
Have you always been like that?
Yeah.
You have. What about your music, though? Do you care what people think about your music? I know you don't care what people think about you personally, but what about your music?
I mean, I want people to like it. I feel like if I like it, they should like it. Because I don't just like anything.
What are your keys to success at this point? What are some things that make you successful?
I mean, staying me. Doing what I do regularly. You know what I'm saying?